and we can go through today's tip of the week, which we've covered instant business data before, but this is kind of a tip of the week on how to get the most from the instant business data. So if it's all right with you, David, I'll pass things over now.
Absolutely. So it seems like just yesterday we released the Instant Business Data tool. I believe it was just about a year ago now since we initially released it. A lot of BD users have been using it, but from time to time, we gotten a question, especially from users in more rural areas or low population areas, about having some difficulty finding a lot of results for business categories that they're searching for to try to import into their website. And so we wanted to give some tips and then also do a brief demo to kind of show you how to get the most out of the Instant Business Data tool, because there are some filters and some settings within there that can really limit the number of results you get. Just wanted to give a kind of quick overview here of what the Instant Business Data tool is in case you haven't used it yet. And then we can go into some tips and tricks. And then we'll also give you like I said, a little demo so that you can see in action how adjusting some of these specific settings and filters can adjust the number of results that are yielded. So first things first, what is the Instant Business Data tool? It allows you to quickly and easily populate your website with actual business listings. And then for you, the website owner, that in turn can unlock potential leads. If that business data contains contact information for those businesses, you can follow up with them, try to get them signed up on your site, promote any other business services or offers that you have. So overall, pretty simple. You can instantly import real business listings by business category and by location. You can also search specifically for business names as well if you're interested in importing chains or franchises, things like that. There's a bunch of filters and settings and search options within there. And every BD site does start with 100 free credits. You can do as many searches as you want. Those credits only wind down as you actually begin to import the businesses, but you can do as many searches as you want, and you can see how many results are yielded with each of those searches. So if you do this, especially for new sites or even growing sites, it can really make your site appear to be more active, more credible, ready for more traffic, help to entice general users, website visitors to click around your website more, maybe interact with some of those business profiles. And again, a big bonus here is that if that business data does contain the contact information for those businesses, whether it be email address, phone number, their website URL, you can then reach out to those business owners, kind of give them your elevator pitch, why your website would be beneficial for them. If you have a free membership plan, try to get them signed up for that so that they can update any information on the listing that's already on your website, or maybe upsell them to a premium membership plan or sell them any other business services you might be offering. So a lot of benefits here with the Instant Business Data tool.
One extra bonus here that Brilliant Directories does is, of course, this data is coming from multiple sources. Google does not like duplicate content. So with every listing that is imported, a summary or custom description each time is created for that business, and it's optimized for Google SEO, follows best practices, avoids AI detection, and more. So we've done our best to, when you're importing these listings, it's not just duplicate data on your site. It gives some meat for Google to potentially chew on and index, gives it a better chance to index some of these imported records.
Very important note there. And we did also want to give you guys a little bit of transparency in terms of the database that you are searching through with the Instant Business Data tool. So the database, it contains over 209 million listings from around the world, about 160 countries. Obviously, the countries with the higher populations typically have more business data. So you can see China, India up there at the top. US has over 19 million business listings within the database. We have our friends across the pond in the UK, almost 4 million, up north in Canada, 2.2 million. So there's a lot of business data in there. But as we mentioned at the beginning of this, we really wanted to focus on some tips and tricks on how to get the most out of this tool, especially if you're in a lower populated area or a more rural area. If you're not finding the number of results you were expecting, we wanted to give you some tips and tricks on how to get closer to that goal and yield some more results. So jump in right on into it here. The first thing you can do, there's basically two ways that you can search for businesses within the Instant Business Data tool. You can do it strictly by business category, or optionally, you can include a business name. So if you're only using the business category filter, you might want to consider enabling the related category match option. And again, we'll go through a quick demo of all of these so you can see in practice how each of these work. But for example, if you're searching for attorneys or doctors or restaurants, that might have a lot of different subcategories. So attorneys and doctors tend to have a lot of different types of specialties that they might focus on. Restaurants, there can be a bunch of different types of restaurants depending on the cuisine that they serve. So if you're starting off searching for a very specific business category, you might want to try to expand that. Click on the related category match to get some broader results. Also, if you're optionally including a business name in your search, so again, if you're looking to import some chains or franchises, say you type in Starbucks as the business name, if you're not getting the number of results that you are expecting, instead of sticking with the exact name match option, you might want to enable the partial name match. This way, in case the business name actually has some other letters or words or maybe an apostrophe in there, you're kind of giving yourself the best opportunity to capture all those businesses with a partial name match. Another one that we didn't actually mention in here, it doesn't do so much in terms of getting you more results, but you can also exclude specific businesses. So if you want to import restaurants, but you don't want to include McDonald's, you can exclude businesses with the name McDonald's. Just a quick tip on that side. One of the biggest things you can do though is uncheck the preferred attributes. So there's 4 types of preferred attributes that you can enable or disable. It's the screenshot just in the upper right-hand corner, the business's email address, phone number, website URL, and if the business information was updated within the last 30 days. As you uncheck some of those preferred attributes, you'll begin to get more results from your search. So if you're not seeing the number of results that you were expecting, you might want to start with unchecking updated within the last 30 days, because if it's an established business, there simply might not have been any information that needed to have been updated within the last month. So that's a good one to uncheck. And then probably kind of work your way up that list. Uncheck the website URL, then uncheck phone number, then uncheck email address if you still need to get some more results. Regardless, even if they don't have those preferred attributes, the businesses will still be imported. They'll still create listings on your website. The only downside, if a business listing does not have an email address, a phone number, or a website, it'll make it a little bit more difficult if you do actually intend to reach out to these business owners to try to get them to come to your website, claim their listing, enable their account, everything like that. One more thing you can do, this is another big one, again, especially if you're in a more rural area, is expand your location search. So what you might want to try doing if you're in a small rural town, where not all the time, but typically people are used to traveling a little further to go to businesses that they're looking for, you might want to also try searching a larger nearby city, especially if there's a metropolitan area nearby. You can also do separate searches for adjacent zip codes. This way, if there's no big cities nearby, at least you can try to get some businesses from surrounding zip codes within that same area. And if you're willing to really expand the search and get as many businesses as you want, you might want to try searching the entire state or province for what it is that you're looking for. So overall, you probably will tend to want to start broad and then narrow down as needed. The broader your initial search, the more listings you're going to have, which means the more opportunities, not just for you, the website owner, in terms of reaching out to those businesses, selling them services, selling them memberships, but also for your general users, your website visitors. If they have more businesses to look through, more listings to click on your website, that's some more opportunities for them as well. I think it'll make a lot more sense as we actually show this in practice. So Jason, do we want to head on into the admin area and do some sample searches and enable and disable some of these filters?
Yeah, definitely. So David, if you want to guide me, I'll go to the business data page and we can simulate some searches. If you want to let me know what to search for, and we can see the different results counts that we get with modifying some of the search filters here.
Yeah, so 2 things. I think a good area to search will be, or a good location would be Johannesburg, South Africa. And then we can actually quickly see a difference in terms of which business category we select. So if we select plumbing and do a search for plumbing in Johannesburg, We'll see how many results we get.
And here we have primary category search, which is more specific, like the actual main category of the business would need to be plumbing. And we have all the preferred attributes checked. So we're asking it to find only results that include this information. And the updated last 30 days, I think, is one that we can always choose to uncheck because business information doesn't change 30 days at a time. So they might set it once and leave it for years because their phone number and address and logo have not changed. But let's just do a search for records here for plumbing. And we hit a go ahead. Yeah.
We hit a roadblock. We got 0 records. So this is just an important point in terms of which business category you're selecting, because there's also a business category for plumber. And if we select plumber, we'll yield a lot more results in Johannesburg rather than 0 in plumbing.
All right, let's look for plumber. Same thing with the primary category, and we'll do a search for records. So a whopping 6 records found here.
And that is with all of the preferred attributes enabled. And if we disable those, broadening our search, we should yield even more results.
All right, let's do one by one just for a second and see. We went from 6 to 19 for the updated in the last 30 days. If we remove the website URL, also 19. If we remove the phone number, it might still be 19. And if we remove the email address, we see 172. Now, in my opinion, one of the main benefits of the business import tool is if you're starting out, it helps your site appear seasoned and credible from day one. It's not necessarily to go after these imported listings. It's to populate your site and then start your real marketing with a site that looks credible and seasoned and populated. Now let's do one more thing here. Let's switch plumber as the primary category and switch to related category match. So now we've upped it up to 209 records found. That's from, we started at 0, right? If we hit that roadblock, we were searching for plumbing, but plumbing isn't really the name of what a person does. It's the type of service. So plumber was a better category to search in this case. All right, David, you guide me and I'll do the filter. So what else should we can or should we do here?
What we could also do is expand the location. So maybe after doing a little bit more market research, we decide Johannesburg, maybe it's just too small of a market that we want to focus on. And so now we've decided we want to broaden our reach. So now let's search for all of South Africa and see how many results we get.
10x almost.
10x. So it really goes to show how adjusting these search filters can affect the number of results you get. And we did want to use South Africa as an example because we do have a lot of international users. So we didn't want to pick a place within the US. So we wanted to show you this can apply whether you're in the US or any other country. There's a couple 100 million business records within this database. But sometimes you have to play around with some of these filters to really find the number of records that you're comfortable importing. And again, typically, when you're first starting out, it's best to start as broad as possible and then begin to slowly narrow your search filters down until you're as narrow as you want to be. And then you can see how many records are found. And then you can make a decision whether you really want to focus that narrowly or if you want to go a little broader. And again, as Jason mentioned, the primary benefit of using this is to be able to quickly, almost immediately import business listings into your website to really make the website feel more seasoned, feel active, make actual additional businesses that you're reaching out to feel a little bit more comfortable registering on your site once you do start your actual marketing initiatives.
So that is with the category plus the location search. Let's get into, you can do category and keyword, business name, but that even narrows it further. But let's only do the business name. So There's three options here: exact, partial, and does not match. So if we put the word plumbing in here and did exact name match, we're basically asking the system to look for businesses whose entire and full complete name is plumbing, which probably isn't going to exist. So let's do search for records. Well, okay, 5 records were found in this case. So that's great. They probably, whatever the case may be. But now if we do a partial match, it's going to look for the word plumbing that is part of their official business name. So this could be like Super Mario Brothers Plumbing Company, and the word plumbing would be in there. Now, when you're doing that partial match, you want to make sure the word you're using to search for the type of business would really be part of, would really be the type of business you're looking for. So I think for dentists, I think they use like DDS as an acronym at the end. So you could search for businesses like that. Or lawyers sometimes have things at the end of their acronyms at the end of their law firm names, or just searching like law firm would be make sense. But searching for something like McDonald's as a partial match, you're not going to just get McDonald's restaurants. You might get McDonald's law firm, for example, or McDonald's plumbing. So just be careful when you're doing the partial match name that you're choosing words that would probably 99% mean that it's the type of business you're looking for. So let's see how many businesses have plumbing as part of their official name. So there's 1,600 businesses, that's huge now, that actually have plumbing in their name. And the chances are they probably work in, they are plumbers, they offer plumbing services. So that is how the partial name match works. What other examples can we show here, David? Did we want to do the McDonald's example or anything else?
I think McDonald's is good, but actually on the flip side of this. So say you're looking to import restaurants, one-off local restaurants within Los Angeles, but you don't want to import all of the McDonald's that are within Los Angeles also. So if you select restaurant as the business category, you exclude McDonald's, and we select Los Angeles as the location, we can see that if we exclude McDonald's, the number of restaurants should go down.
So let's do this. Let's do a search without excluding anything. Let's just do a search for restaurants that are McDonald's in the name. Let's just search for restaurants first. How many restaurants in Los Angeles? So there's 1,700. Now let's add McDonald's here. McDonald's, and restaurants do not include McDonald's in the official name. So it came down to 1,600. So it was about 17 and change. It's about 100 McDonald's restaurants in Los Angeles. So we would get restaurants results without McDonald's here. So that's kind of a perfect example of how you can exclude business names like Walmart, or sometimes you don't want chains and things like that from the type of search that you're doing. Any other scenarios you want to cover here?
I think that pretty much covers it. It's going to vary a lot depending on the specific use case, but I think one of the best tips, again, especially if you're in a more rural or remote area, is search, and you want to be very specific with the location of the businesses. Do several searches and include adjacent zip codes, or maybe adjacent cities if there's not a close by major city that you know is going to have results. You can try to include some of the neighboring zip codes to get some additional business listings that way as well. So just some additional tips before you go ahead and use the Instant Business Data Tool. One of the best things we can recommend is to conduct your search. Say you get those 17 or 1,600 restaurants in Los Angeles. Before you use all 1,600 of those credits to import the businesses into your website, start with just importing 10 of them first, or 20 or 50 of them first. Take a look through those, make sure everything's lining up with what you were expecting. And then if that's the case, then you can go ahead and import the rest of all those results. Because the important thing to keep in mind is that duplicate imports will automatically be skipped. So if you conduct a search once, you import 10 results, and then you conduct that same search again, and you want to import the remaining business records that were found, the system will automatically skip over the ones that have already been imported. So you won't get any duplicates if you do that.
Just a note on that, David, not just the same search. So if you do a category search for plumbers in Los Angeles and import all of them. Then you just search for plumbers as like a keyword name and it finds the same results. It won't import duplicates, even if it was from a different search. So it will skip them. And we do see this from time to time. Sometimes people think that a duplicate was imported, but actually it was the same business name at a different location address, or a different address, I should say. So of course, just remember that there could be a business with multiple locations in a specific area, such as a McDonald's restaurant, and it's not a duplicate listing, it's a different location for the same business.
That's right. And also, if you do conduct a search and then you import a number of listings from that search, say you intentionally delete those members, you unintentionally delete those members, whatever the case may be, you come back, you decide, I shouldn't have deleted those. You don't have to use any more of your credits to re-import those or conduct the search again. You can go into that My Imports tab where you can track the progress of your imports, and you can also see your previous search results, and you can just re-import them for free at any time.
That's right. So in this example, I imported 10 Italian restaurants. Let's say I went to my search members page and deleted them. I'd see a re-import button here. It knows that those members were deleted from my member database, and I can re-import them for free.
And one last, almost kind of power user tip here. So when you import members, these business listings, after you conduct a search, you can of course assign them to a membership plan. So if you have the claimable business listings add-on, for example, you can import all of these businesses as claimable listings, which would be great. And then you can also assign them to a specific member category as well. So you don't have to do that after the fact. That'll all be taken care of for you during the import process. But you can also apply tags to these members. So if you want to kind of make like an internal note to yourself about when they were imported, or if you want to just apply any other tag for whatever other reason to segment them from any other segments of your website's members that you have, you can do that. This way you can send emails only to the businesses that were part of this import, or any other similar scenario.
Great tips there, David. Thanks for putting these slides together. That use case was perfect with Johannesburg as an example, and we went from 0 results to almost, just over 2,000 results. So just some tips and tricks for you guys to kind of play around with it. And one final note, that tool is a helper tool. We've done our best to provide the filters we can, and it is one source of data for your site. And of course, we want you guys to have the most success for your site. So if that tool's not working out for you or getting the results you want, there are lots of other sources to get data from. So don't feel like you've hit a total roadblock. You can find other sources for business data online that might have the types of filters that you're looking for. We just tried to create, a really actually first an affordable way to add business listings to your site. So we'll always take your suggestions and update it as we can. But again, if you're not getting the results you want, don't feel like you've hit a total roadblock. There are other tools and sources to get business data from as well.